What's up, everybody? It's me, Josh, Relentless Motorsports. It's another day of a day in the life. My chest is currently killing me. I pulled a muscle last night trying to pull this darn crank pulley on these JZs to the 230 foot-pounds of torque it's supposed to be at. Yeah, I'm starting to become an old man. Working on ECUs and not working on cars much anymore. I guess I've lost some muscle. I don't stretch, I don't lift, I don't pull, I don't do all that much anymore. So I guess that and the fact that I'm almost 40 years old now is starting to become age-related issues, just like the ECUs. I'm starting to fall apart. My caps are going out. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys some of the progress. So far, let's start with the small things. I've changed both sensors, the plugs, for coolant temp, for the gauge, and for the ECU with OEM Denso Toyota. I've put these, and yes, I've rotated the motor. It's set at TDC. I put some Titan Motorsports cam gears on. I couldn't get a 1J belt OEM here in the States, so I'm using an Isuzu belt, which works. Old school trick. Isuzu belt's the same length, match it to the old belt and everything. Using it at Gates, which is still a good brand. Gates makes the racing belts everybody likes to use, and the HKS belts, and the Gretty belts, and actually I'm running the Gates belt on my SC300 for the past million years. Fluid dampener, still gotta do that. I brake cleaned and the block up. I gotta wipe that little smudge up. I really want to change this timing cover, but Kevin needs his car back, and with all the storms going on and stuff, I can't get an ETA on when I can get another one, so I'm going to just order him one and send it to him at a later time. He can put it on. It's not super hard to take a harmonic balancer off and take a couple bolts out. I'd love to do it, but I know he wants his car back, and I've had it way too long, and there's nothing wrong with that other than it's slightly faded, which, do I like it? No. I'm going to be changing valve covers on here. I've got some valve covers I've welded some AN fittings to for Kevin. I gotta pull his intercooler, or put his intercooler piping back together. I had to take off some of this upper pipe work, duct work, to get the upper water neck off to change the O-rings on the bypass pipe that goes in between the water pump and the upper neck. You got new cam seals. Here's one of the old ones. I saved it so he could see it. It's things harder than Chinese arithmetic. New timing belt tensioner. OEM. NTN. Japan. New Koyo pulley wheel on the tensioner. It's got the works. Going to be putting his updated Koyo rad, because the one I originally put in there for him was a JZX90. Now he's going to have a JZX110 one, which will incorporate electric fans into it. I'm going to change the coil pack plugs on it, because they're old, typical JZ plugs. They're decrepit and they're falling apart. They're 30-year-old heat-soaked, heat-baked plastic. What other things? I removed the JZX reservoir up here. Oop. Leaning on a... Don't mind that. Got to put it back together. I removed the power steering cooling fan cooler that was mounted back there originally. If you saw in some of the old pictures on social media, that has been removed because no longer needs all the odd lines there. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to cover this with a garbage bag so no water can get in, and I'm going to degrease and pressure wash and scrub this frame rail. I'm going to pull that one apart, clean that frame rail, because I don't want stuff leaving with 30-year-old scunge and trash on it. Things need to be clean, because I treat everything as my own. If it was my own, if you look, this car is literally show quality finish, spotless. That's how this is going to leave. But yeah, you can see it. I got to reconnect that intercooler pipe on that side. It's not even connected. It's just hanging there. It's not even connected. And then I got to put his coil pack cover back on. And I might get him a new alternator, because that alternator was being soaked by antifreeze from the old pump leaking, and from power steering fluid that was leaking out of the old, or ATF fluid that was leaking out of the old viscous hydraulic fan pump, which is incorporated in the water pump. Both areas of the pump were leaking, and that thing has definitely been saturated and more contaminated fluids. The alternator is supposed to be dry. So I might change that just for safety measures. This car's got a long ride back to Austin, Texas when it leaves here. I checked the turbos. They seem all right. They're not really to my liking, but he's not ready to go to big single, and they're not smoking, so why fix what's not broken, especially when you're not in the place right now or time when you want to switch to a big single. I would assume that when he's ready to go to a big single, I'll probably be the one doing that as well. I'll build him a manifold like I did for my car. But there's an update. You have it. Waiting on some stuff. I actually got his new radiator in. I'm going to show you guys the new radiator real quick. Grab my my green tea, because this is like my coffee. If I don't have green tea from my buddy's shop down the street, I get cranky. Just like Daddy when he didn't have his coffee. So, here's the old hydro fan removed. Here's the brand new coil radiator that I put in Kevin's car for him. But unfortunately, as you see, this radiator is small. It's slightly smaller than the new one, and it's for a JZX 100 or 90. And he wanted to run electric fans, so I advised him to get a JZX 90 radiator, and I have no clue what this is. I just happened to notice that there's nothing wrong with it. That's weird. I've never seen a radiator where it's got, looks like somebody like Photoshop something out on it. But yep, coil radiator. I'm gonna polish this one for him. I'm gonna polish it up for him. It's slightly different. And if you look, whoop, let it sit on me. You can kind of get the gist of it. It's just slightly bigger. It's the full length from here to here. So, full length. But there's the coil. I got him some billet stays to hold this. Now, let's see. He's got his new fan shroud that came. He's got his new fan shroud that came. Go get a razor blade to open this box. We'll check that out. And then I gotta hop off this camera and try to fix some ECUs. I got a lot of work to do, but just giving me anxiety. I hate when I have tons and tons of work to do and no time to do it in. There's some jobs right there. There's some more jobs there. And my cat broke the blinds the other day. I need to fix that, but Jesus. So, let's see what we have here. Yes, Most of you are like, oh, I didn't know you're running your business out of a small house. Yes, I own a small house and I'm running my business out of it because during COVID, when everybody was like, oh, you're not essential, they made me shut my place down. So here's his TF Works Togue Factory. Spall electric fans. Here's his TF Works fan show. Wow. This is really absolutely impressive. Oop. I'm trying to do this with one hand. I wish I didn't put tape on it. I'm going to have to get a little lacquer thinner or something on that. And then they put it over the bypass flaps on here, which are rubber. That was a great job. Thank you, guys. But other than that, overall, this thing is absolutely amazing. It's put together with rivserts instead of nuts and bolts. Like, wow. Wow. This thing's nicer than the one I built for my car. Test fit it, see if it fits. Ooh. Oh, man. I might have to set you guys down or let you for a minute. You guys look at my ugly mug. Well, I two-hand this thing. So, ooh. Damn. There we go. Get that bolt out. Not that it matters, but if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know I used to be a much bigger guy. I was almost 300 pounds. I've been losing weight, man. Healthy mind. Healthy body. Let's see how this fits. Let's see how this fits. Come on, Togue Factory. Really? Let's see. This, guys, might fit, might not fit. Yeah, Togue Factory. Your stuff don't fit. So I guess the factory unit would screw in to these. I don't know, I've never had a JZX. But as you see, that doesn't fit to slide. Maybe the factory plastic slid down behind here. This is slightly too big to get these bolt holes to line up. Let's keep trying. I'm not ready just to quit that easy. I've come this far and gotten this car this far. Okay, maybe it does fit. Damn, that's tight. Gonna have to grab a rubber mallet. I'll be right back, guys. Good old trusty rubber mallet. Attitude adjuster. So, let's see how, if we can lightly tap this down into the bracket. Might want to take my watch off. That might help. Take my watch off and just set it on the couch. So, I know you guys are seeing the top of my head, and the top of my head isn't all that glorious to look at, but I will help you guys in a minute. There we go. We're getting it. It's a tight fit. We're getting it. Maybe it's just tight. It's a rubber mallet, so it's not marring the radiator up. These fans got to come over a little bit. It's kind of a press fit deal, and it's super tight. We're almost lined up. Got one bolt in. Whoo! This thing was tight. I'll show you guys in a minute. This needs to come up just here. There we go. There we go, guys. It's finger tight. I'm gonna have to tighten it up the rest of the way. Check this out. So it goes behind the tabs. It's just a super tight, like almost tolerance style fix, but that's good. It's not gonna go. Thing I like about this is I've seen on other people's fan shrouds, they don't use this like weather stripping seal. Not only does this seal so the air has to pass through the fans, which keeps it continuously moving, but what else I see on this that I actually genuinely like is seeing that it seals, it fits, it's a tight fit, which means when it's all together, it's not gonna vibrate, it's not gonna rattle, it's not gonna just be a heaping pile of BS. I've used Spall fans in the past before, and I hate these unsealed plugs. I hate these unsealed plugs. So therefore, these plugs are getting chopped off, and I'm going to put mil-spec Deutsch connectors that are watertight onto it. And then I'm going to build him a fan harness and make it where a sensor screws into here that will trigger the fans on and off, and then I got to run power and ground from his fuse box and run it through his OEM harness so it's clean, and everything's going to be plug and play. So if he ever has to pull the radiator out, it's a fully serviceable item. Anyway, this concludes another day of A Day in the Life RMS TX. Anyway, peace out. If you're looking for automotive electronics repair, hit me up. Pretty darn good at it. If you want an ECU or need an ECU fixed for your 90s car or early 2000s car, feel free to hit me up. I'm always down to look at new things. If it's something I've never looked at before, it ain't nothing but a thing, just let me know. Anyway, it's been good chatting with you guys, giving you a little look-see at what I'm working on, and yeah. Also, as for this little house I'm working on, which I've mentioned earlier in this video, in the next couple months, I'm going to probably turn this back into another house. I might rent it out. I don't know. And I'm going to be opening up another full-on shop with people in it. So I might start doing more mechanical work as well, because I'm a man on a mission to save the 90s. Anyway, later. Enjoy. Please subscribe.